Let's have a look at a riff by Lukas Graham. It's called 7 Years. Now this riff is played on piano, but we can do it on guitar just as well. So let's explain how to do it. Now the original song's in the key of B flat, so if I write a B flat scale up, so starting on B flat, remember it always goes tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now the song sounds like it's a chord progression that starts on the 6th of the key. So it starts here, so that's our first note. So it goes from the 6, goes back to the 1, so there's our 1. Then it goes to the 4 chord, which is there, and then the 5. So it's a 6, 1, 4, 5, which is your typical pop song built around those 4 chords. Now to play it on guitar, it's a lot easier if we use a capo. So you'll see in a second that I've changed it. We're going to play it as if it's in G with the capo up on 3. 3 semitones above a G is B flat. Now let's talk rhythm for a moment. The song is basically a quaver rhythm with a semiquaver run at the beginning. So if I write it up as a rhythm, you'd have an anacrusis, which is 4 semiquavers. And then when you get into the bar, it's just quavers. And then the 4th beat of the bar is back to semiquavers again. Well, make sure I keep them nice and straight. And then this bar pretty well just repeats itself over and over. So if I put a repeat sign either way. So you'd count that as 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and. Right, so that's our rhythm. So let's go through and show you how to play it on the guitar. So you can see I've already got the capo here on the 3rd fret. Now the chord progression really sounds like it's, the 6th chord is like an E minor 7. It's got these 2 notes in it all the time, right? So that's the flat 7 of E, which makes it a minor 7. Then it goes to the 1 chord, which is going to be like a G shape. Then it's to the C, which would be an add 9, with also that B in, so you could say it's like a major 9 sound. And then it goes to the D, which is sounding like your 5 chord. So really it sounds like it's 6, then the 1, the 4, then the 5. So to play the riff at the beginning, I'm playing with my hand as if it's in the 2nd position. So that means my first finger's on the 2nd fret. Remember, that's compared to the capo. And I do 1 finger per fret above that. So the riff at the beginning is going to sound like it goes. So what I'm doing there is I'm going to play, that'd be the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret, then the open, that's all on the 1st string, and then I want this that would be a D with the capo up, so it's not really a D, it's really an F. So that would be the 3rd fret there, so it goes. Now by playing it with those fingers, with my 2nd first, I'm then going to place my 3rd finger onto this 3rd string on the 4th fret. So in that case that's really a D, but we're pretending we're in the key of G, so kind of, yeah, it is a D. We won't argue over that. So it sounds like you go. And then the quavers are just repeating those notes. So you get this 4E and a 1, 2, 3, then the same run again. Now to make it just a little bit more complicated to match in closely what the piano does, we want to put the bass notes underneath it. So when we get to this first bit, when I go to play that B, I'm actually going to get my thumb to play this open here, which gives me that sound of the 6th chord. So I'd get it to sound like this. Now on the 3rd beat, you notice I'm putting my first finger onto that. I'm going to call it a G, I know it's B flat, but at the 3rd fret 6th string, which gives it the sound of a 1 chord. So you end up with this. Now I do the run again. Now this time, I want the bass note to be this 4 here, so I'm going to get that. And on the last bit, when I go to the other run, I'm going to do the D bass note, so I get. So the whole thing slowly would sound like this. the original song is, it sounds like if you're going to treat them as semiquavers and quavers like I've been talking, it's 60 beats a minute. So you're doing 1 E and 2. So that sort of tempo of like da 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 dun da dun da dun. But some of the song feels like it's double that. So you could say it's really 120 beats a minute and it's crotchets and quavers, however you want to think of it. But this is roughly what it would sound like up to full speed. Repeat. So there you have it. So pretty simple riff. It's repeated a lot through the song. So just to quickly recap, the original's in B flat, as in the scale we wrote up there. It sounds like it goes 6, 1, 4, 5 is the chord progression. So the 6 chord, the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and then the 5 chord. And the rest of the chord progression is the same thing. And then it just repeats that riff, that da 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 da, as it goes through. So have a lot of fun with that. So that was Lukas Graham's 7 Years.